Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Alex, and I'm the Director of Outpatient, and I'm here to talk about debunking 5 myths. The first one that I'm going to discuss is addiction is not a disease. A lot of people come under that impression that it's just willpower, it's a decision-making process to stop, when in reality, addiction affects the biological function. Example would be the addict stops drinking water, stops eating, lack of impulse control. So in other words, addiction is about instant gratification, which rewires the brain, and the reason aspect of the brain ceases to function in its proper manner. So that's what treatment is about. Treatment is about helping people make decisions that are constructive rather than self-harm. The other one is, the other myth is you must hit rock bottom before seeking help for your addiction. An addict will definitely tell you that is not true. An addict, there's no such thing as rock bottom. An addict will keep digging and making sure that the self-harm continues, because if you think about the disease concept, the addict believes that they need their drug of choice in order to survive. So in other words, it becomes a survival instinct rather than a decision-making process. And hitting rock bottom is just part of the process. It's a speed bump on the road to misery and self-destruction. So the addict generally needs intervention in order to start the healing process. The other myth that I'll be discussing or debunking: if your loved one was an addict, you would know about it. One of the best traits of an addict is manipulation and false image. They can act with the best of them, Oscar-worthy performances, and the family is usually the last to know because the deception is that real. They'll lie, manipulate, steal, deflect, usually into the family dynamics. So the issue of if your loved one was an addict, people would know. Usually they're the last to know. So that's another myth that people seem to believe in, that everyone is aware and just not really saying anything. The other myth that I'll be discussing is the 12 steps are archaic and do not work for the modern day person in recovery. This one also is false. If you look at steps 1 through 3, well, actually, let me talk about the template of 12 steps. The template of 12 steps is serenity. It's about community. It's about peace. Steps 1 through 3 are basically seeking a relationship, peace with a higher power. So it's structured in belief. It's structured in meaning and purpose. Steps 4 through 7 is peace within self. The addict learns to accept the flaws, learn to benefit from any past experience where there was frustration, failure even, and use it as a positive resource, and seeking identity. Steps 8 through 12 is peace with others. It's learning to be about community. It's learning about being of service. So the 12 steps fit perfectly in the modern world simply because not everyone has an understanding of who they are. People are usually seeking externals to validate themselves. And generally, once the addiction takes root, relationships become maladaptive and eventually becomes isolation. So actually 12 steps would be beneficial for society as a whole, because it's broad. It's not in a little box, and it's more about principles. Say, for instance, the first 4 principles of the 12 steps: honesty, hope, faith, and courage. That's very beneficial in today's time, as well as integrity, willingness. There's just so much more to the 12 steps than something that's been done in 1934 or 1940. As it says in the Big Book, there's 2 types of people. in this world, and we'll move beyond recovery. The first are the ones that are willing to do whatever it takes to live a life worth living without drugs and alcohol. And the other people are the ones that seek an easier path. So what was true back then applies now. The trend that I see in treatment is most people are not willing to do the work. They want to change, but yet they don't have that skill to function on their own, and so that's where treatment comes in, because we do help. We not only care, we provide the tools to help people regulate their emotions, deal with stress, and if things work accordingly, what I mean by that, if the client is making the effort, then the actual coping strategies are implemented on a day-to-day basis. The other myth is being sober is so boring, I'll never have fun again. You know, that is the fear factor of conditioned hopelessness. To think that a new way of life is never possible, that's based in fear. What happens in recovery is the values change within a person. So say, for instance, an addict may say, man, life is so great living under the freeway. As long as I have my drug of choice, life is great. In reality, that's the deception. In recovery, you get to experience life, make healthy relationships, feel secure in your future, and willing to live day to day. So recovery is about, you have a wide variety of life to seek out, to enjoy, and take clean and sober people along for the ride. So hopefully some of these myths that I discussed with you kind of help give you a better picture of what recovery is and what it's not, and what treatment can offer. And here at Discovery Transitions, we definitely have the ability to encourage people to change their lives. So I definitely appreciate your guys' time, and you know, keep watching, and we'll bring more information to you. Thank you.